Hi everybody, I'm back today with another video. This one is a flip through of my 6x8 pocket page album of my Seattle trip from May of this year. I also went to Portland on this trip, but I did that in a previous video, so we're just going to focus on Seattle. So this is my opening page. I just printed this out, added my dates, and then did some stamping down here. And I thought it would be cool to put in the recap or itinerary of all the things that we did each day we were there. So that's what is on this page. And then over here, I've really been enjoying using these inserts. These are 3x4, and I really love the extra that they add. And it's really nice when you have a couple of photos that don't really go with anything else, which is the case here. I took the train from Portland to Seattle, so this is when I arrived at the train station, and then I had to get from the train station all the way out to the airport because that's where I was meeting my friend who was flying in that day. So then I had to do the light rail. So I like including my transportation passes, so I put that in there as well. And then our first stop was the famous Pike Place Market. So that's where these pictures are from. And then when we were there, it was spring, obviously, because it was early May, but they had a tulip festival going on, which I thought would be like more in April, but it was in May. And so all these buckets of beautiful, beautiful tulips were around the marketplace. So I was a little tulip obsessed this day, but that's all right. And this right here is probably my favorite page in the entire album. I sometimes have trouble doing 2x2 pockets because they're so small that sometimes it just, nothing seems right in there. And so I thought I would try a combination. So what I did was I took several pictures that I had of the wheel in Seattle and then cut them down, plus then fit them in here. So this was one picture, this was one, and then this I just happened to get just, the right angle where I could fit most of it in there. And then I just filled in kind of the missing squares. I figured my friend and I should be in there somewhere. So there we are. And then this is from In a Creative Bubble. Don't remember where this cork sticker is from, but it's awesome. And then I just stamped on this with a little puffy star and called it good. So again, since these tend to give me trouble, I kind of took a cop out here. I just took two 4x6 photos, cut them all 2x2 and stuck them in there, but it works. And then over here, this was walking along the harbor, so these are both along the harbor here. And then this is also from In a Creative Bubble. I just buy her digital files. I print them out at home. I have a Canon Pixma printer, and so I use that. Chihuly, this is probably my favorite thing to do and see in Seattle. If you ever go, I highly recommend this. Even if you're not an art person, I think you would enjoy this. He does these amazing glass pieces, and he has a complex all his own. So it's just his work that's in there. And then when you come in, they will offer to take your picture, and then you get this little card here. It's almost like a hotel key card, so it's kind of that thick plastic. They give this to you, and then on the back is a barcode. And you scan it under a machine. It shows you the picture, and if you like it, you email it to yourself for free. So it's pretty awesome. It's a scrapbooker's dream. So my friend was nice enough to give me his as well. So mine's here and then his is coming up. And I wanted to feature this view of the Space Needle from inside the glass house. And so I put that on its own 6x8 page. And so this is the brochure and map from the museum. And then this was the other little key card type thing we got with our link to our picture on it. And these are the float boats. These are my favorite thing that he does. So I had to feature those. And then this is from his basket series. And I just love all the bright colors in here. This is from the Persian ceiling. Definitely is good stuff. And then these cards are both from In a Creative Bubble. I think they're from different sets, but I know they're both from her shop. And more of the glasshouse ceiling there. And then once you're done on the inside, they have a whole outside garden area where he takes pieces that are made to look like flowers or plants and puts them in a natural setting. So that's what this is. And I just love these gorgeous blues. And so I wanted to make sure that those got in there. Amazing color. And this is more outside in the garden. And then I just wanted to talk a little bit about how the pieces make me feel when I see them. And so I wanted to make sure that that journaling got in there. When we left the Chihuly complex, we did the city pass, and you get 2 trips up in the Space Needle, one during the day, one at night. And we decided to do our evening one first. So this is slightly after dusk. We went up for our first visit, and we also wanted to see it when it was totally dark. So we sat up there and we had coffee and we just chatted for a while, and then waited till the city was really dark so that we could get these photos. And again, I wanted to feature this one on its own 6x8 page because that is a stunning picture. So this is a 5x7. Is it? Wait. I think it's a 5x7. I think I blew that up to fit in this 6x8. Just added a little strip of washi, put a rhinestone on there. Oh, little stamping. Called it good. I think it has a nice visual impact though. And then again, my friend was very nice and allowed me to keep both of our tickets. So I have those. And as I've said in other videos, when I travel to big cities, I like to use public transportation as much as possible. So for this trip, we did not rent a car. I didn't do that in Portland either. I just took public transportation. And in Seattle, really, it was just the light rail. And then on the inside, they have all these kind of funny safety advertisements and things. And so I wanted to include at least one of them. So this one was, keep your tentacles to yourself. So this was our day admission. So this is the next morning. This was our day admission to the Space Needle. So we could see there was a ship out in the harbor there. So you can kind of see along the horizon. And these were some things they had set up inside. I had been there before, and this time they had added this new electronic wall where you can type in your name and your city, and then it appears on this wall. And you can even add a picture if you want. I did my name. After we left there, we went right across the street effectively to Mopop, which is the Museum of Pop Culture. It used to be called the EMP. Now they have officially changed it to Mopop. This is the outside, so if you're visiting Seattle, you cannot miss this. It is quite bright. It's the only multicolored building in the area, so there's no way you can't see it. And then once we were on the inside, they had a whole Star Trek exhibit, and I'm a Trekker, and so I was way more into this than my friend was, and I tend to be a Next Generation girl, but this was the classic setup, and I mean, who's gonna not sit in the captain's chair? So I had to have my picture taken. And then this over here is kind of a cheat. This exhibit actually wasn't open when we were there. It opened 3 days later. We were kind of bummed about that we wouldn't get to see it. But they had all the signs and everything ready for it. And this was a big mural on the wall. So I love the Muppets. And I thought, well, heck, I'm going to take pictures anyway. This Jimi Hendrix exhibit, they had a different one when I was there before. This one was focused on his travel, which I thought was appropriate since I love travel. I was traveling to get there. So I wanted to make sure that this made it in there. And then this is another insert by In a Creative Bubble. I think this one is too. I pretty much use all her stuff, so I'm pretty sure it is. And this was an exhibit that's all about gaming. And I'm not a huge gamer, but I played classic Mario. So when I saw this on the wall, I'm like, well, I have to have that. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Guitar exhibit. I wasn't as into this, but I thought it was interesting. You know, Eddie Van Halen's guitars. But it's pretty cool. Some stuff from Kiss. This one I love. This was the fantasy area. So this is all Lord of the Rings, which is right up my alley. Evil. And I took way more pictures in this, but because I'd been there before, I thought, okay, I'll tone it down a little bit. So I only put those in there. And then when we were done, we needed coffee badly by that point. And I had remembered that Cupcake Royale was not that far. And we didn't eat any of their desserts. We just had their coffee. But their coffee's fantastic. So I think I had a chai latte, and it was fab. I forget what my friend had. But he enjoyed it. So it was all good. This was, we took a tour of the harbor. That was included in the city pass as well. Some harbor seals up on the buoy. Another card from In a Creative Bubble. And this was at the end of the tour. They actually took us right up next to this container ship, which they didn't do when I did the tour before, so that was pretty awesome. And then we decided we would just kind of roam the streets, saw some random architecture and things that we saw on our route. Pretty fun. And then we went to the aquarium, and again, I had been there, he hadn't. I still took a massive amount of pictures. Here's another one of those inserts that I am just in love with right now. Lots of great colors in these photos from the aquarium. And even though I had been there before, couldn't stop myself from taking pictures. So look at this. This is kind of pathetic. I have 2 flips for both of these. Yeah, it's kind of a lot. But I think it looks cool. It works, I hope. That was a fun page. And then their otters were so darn cute. Notice the stamp. It's so true. I could have watched them all day. And here the seals were doing some little tricks for us. Art Museum. This was total chance. We didn't know that this exhibit was downstairs in the lobby. So we got to see these beautiful floral arrangements. And then we went up into the art, of course, and found some gorgeous pieces up there, ceramics and pottery. And oh, these were wonderful, but this was the real stunner. It's a whole room of just porcelain, and when you walk in, or all 4 walls are like this, and so it just almost blinds you with what's in there. Absolutely gorgeous. If you go there, don't miss this. So this was the whole reason for the trip, if we're honest, for both of us. The U2 concert, they were doing their Joshua Tree anniversary tour, and so we actually flew out there to see that. So there are a shameful amount of pictures here from just the concert. And more inserts from In a Creative Bubble there. And then I've got this insert here. These are both 3x4. Close-up of Bono, of course. Oops, there we go. Another card from In a Creative Bubble. And I don't think this one is, but I don't remember where I got that one. And this is just a flare here. And then every night we were there, we ate at the same place. Our hotel was really close to this little casino called the Silver Dollar. And our hotel had recommended it. And it looks like nothing from the outside. It's very small. And you don't go there to gamble. You go there for the food. It was super good. We even ate there at 12:30 in the morning after the U2 concert. So I had to make sure that was in there. And then look at our meals. Didn't matter if it was Asian food or breakfast or what. It was just fantastic. Oh, those pot stickers were yummy. And then the last 6x8 page is just a mix of our brochures here from museums, leftover receipts from things we did, tickets from the monorail, things like that, and then a map from the art museum. So that's the end of the flip through for Seattle. And now that album is complete. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.